Last night was insane. Like, my feet still hurt from dancing last night. I had such a ball. I had the time of my life. Shout out to Mike Kaiser, Jessica Rosenblum, Andre Harrell, Chuck Bone, Emil Wilbekin. That party was off the... And DJ Clark Kent and D-Nice were amazing on the Wheels of Steel. And my favorite, Frank Jiggle, was on the mic.
This music culture that people who speak all type of languages and people who believe in all type of different gods, they all listen and feed off of the culture that you in this room create.
But as we try to take care of everybody else, I do wonder and worry that nobody's taking care of us.
I learned that the relationships is what matter. John Monopoly getting my first job, Kenny Burns has a lot to do with why I'm the way I am. And I'm appreciative to those guys for never leaving my side and always being like, yo, you're the star, and allowing me to be so and being able to shine bright. So
I think one of the ways that women can better support one another is to recognize that everyone brings a unique skill, a unique contribution to every situation. And it's the collective that makes the process stronger, that makes the end result better. And we need to embrace those differences.
It took a lot of work for people to begin to listen to my voice. It also took me being willing to sacrifice a whole lot. Win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna speak truth to power.
Money is not the commodity. You are the commodity.
And so I'm big on reciprocal mentorship relationships where, it's not just transactional, but really making sure that I'm adding as much value to the relationship as they're giving me. And certainly mentorship has been a big part of my life and probably will always be.
Find people to bring on, gather people together, introduce, make sure they understand the power they have together, especially women.
Shout out to my beautiful lady, Jessica Berciaga. She always tells me that I'm so into the culture, because there's so many nights that we spend and I'm talking about it and I'm just everything about hip hop and music and what's going on, and it's like it exudes me, it takes over my life. She's like, yo, you really about the culture.
God put me in the right place at the right time, and I was able to use my natural gifts and talents that I had that He gave to me.
Look at y'all big! Look at what I got! What up, Russ? What up, Good to see you! We need to do some yoga tomorrow morning.
And as long as I'm pushing the narrative, the world will see you also.
We're all making our marks, and this is culture. And I want us to really together put something on the calendar that says we have influenced not just this country, but the world, and we continue to. And you have to recognize it. So thank you so much for this, because we are culture, and I appreciate it.
Our one common goal is to protect the culture.
So I would just ask you what you're working on while you're being woke. What is your contribution to our real freedom?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th Annual Culture Creators, Innovators, and Leaders Brunch. Please welcome our hosts, Tanika Ray, entertainment journalist and producer, and DeMarco Morgan, host and journalist.
Hi guys,
Good
how
afternoon.
are you? I just want you all to know I'm still a little freaked out that there's people here and we're all in the same room. So I'm gonna work my way through that anxiety. How are you guys? You look beautiful.
Yeah. You can do better than that. Give yourselves a round of applause just for being here. Yes, yes.
We're actually together. You're not at home on Zoom.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to the 5th Annual Innovators and Leaders Awards. We are so happy to be here and so happy to see each and every one of you, and glad that you are okay. And I pray that your family as well, too. But you know what? It's been a pleasure to be back here and to be back here live with you, because we're going to be celebrating 10 innovators. All right, so my mom always says, if you can't thank God for what He's done, thank Him for what He didn't allow to happen. So we're going to have a reverend come up and give some thanks to the man who made it all possible.
Reverend, please come up and let's bless the space. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. We just want to start today with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to come together to celebrate the virtues that represent you: culture, creation, innovation, leadership, collaboration. All of those things are what we're celebrating today because they've been made manifest in the folks that are here in this room and the folks that we're celebrating. So we just want to thank you for that opportunity. We ask, Lord, that you just bless this event, bless the producers, the creators, the organizers, the MCs, the performers, the presenters, the award recipients, the attendees, the servers, each and every person here today. Bless them and keep them. And let a spirit of calm, a spirit of peace rest and abide in this place. It is our first large gathering, and there is some anxiety in the room, but we know that you are a keeper because you've kept us thus far. And so we thank you for this opportunity once again. Bless the food, the drink, and bless each and every one in this room. And let everything be done with excellence to your glory. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. We needed that. I think we all got a little closer to God during this crazy pandemic, yeah?
We most certainly did. I was telling him that I hope you pray for these pants that I have on too, because I haven't had on this suit since the start of COVID, and we're up here struggling.
We've been carb loading in the last 2 years. What are we gonna do? But it's fine, you look good.
I appreciate that. You
All
look
right.
lovely as well.
Thank you.
All right, today again, we are excited to honor 10 individuals who have been consistent in their contributions to the culture.
Yes, today we are honoring and celebrating Swiss Beats. D. Nice, yes. Kudzi Jakumbu. Shanti Da, Silence the Shame. Zarina Akers, are we cute? Okay, are we cute? George Wells. Stephanie Brown James. Long-legged model, Carrie Champion.
Carrie.
Ricky Hughes. The icon himself, Baron Davis.
Baron.
Give it up for Jeff Robinson. And Janine McLean. Yeah, it's going down.
Oh, we're so excited. All right, so there is a woman who is a true leader, and what I've learned is that a true leader has the confidence to stand alone. She has the courage to make tough decisions and the compassion to listen to others. She does not set out to be a true leader, but becomes one by the quality of her actions and the integrity of her intent. In the end, you'll find that true leaders are like eagles. They don't flock together. You find them one at a time. Please welcome Joy Brown.
I love that.
Good afternoon. It is so good to see each and every one of you. I wish I can go around the room and give everyone hugs. It feels good to be in person and be back. Last year, 2020, was a year of vision. We saw things that that boiled to the surface in a way that caused a global reckoning where race, class, and gender collided. This year, we were given the choice to pause and become overwhelmed by the very real trauma of what was, or we keep our eyes on the prize and put one foot in front of the other and be keepers of the culture. This year, many of us found ourselves in the position of being godmothers and godfathers of culture in ways similar to the giants like Cicely Tyson and Congressman John Lewis and Maya Angelou and the great activist and actor Harry Belafonte. We called America and her corporations and brands to task. We demanded that they do better. And we've sat watch to make sure that the work we start doesn't stop with just a black square. This year has been our goal to amplify the voices of those who keep corporate America's feet to the fire. This year, our vision remains clear. We are here to create, to share, and empower. So it's not lost on me that for decades, the ideas that we've been creating by people who look like us are deemed less than or ghetto, but then appropriated and then sold as luxury or innovation. This way of doing business, which excludes the creator from the access and quite frankly from wealth, is in fact the devil that's in the details. So it has been our goal at Culture Creators to delve into the details and make sure that at the end of all of this, that we all can thrive. We create, we share, and we empower. From acknowledgement of the Tulsa riots that wiped out Black Wall Street to the very recent passing of Juneteenth as a national holiday, we sit watch. Making sure that this isn't just window dressing. This isn't just another black square on social media. We watch and we pray, but we aren't passive. Like our sister Ricky Hughes, who broke the Emmy's glass ceiling with her stilettos by producing Dave Chappelle's outstanding variety special in response to the murder of George Floyd. We march in the streets and also in the studios, creating content that's loud enough to capture our collective scream. Like Misa Hilton, who curated the fashions of the entire era in hip hop, and Felicia Fan, who speaks truth to power in label environments that have traditionally wanted our music, but not us. We create the waves. This year marks the third year of our C2 HBCU Summit, where we partner with upcoming creators, with industry veterans, and the biggest surprise was the overwhelming request that we remove the age limits for new creators. And so we did. We nurtured the culture, sharing information and connections that other groups share on the golf course. We have been intentional about opening doors in this space. We have been intentional about calling out injustices and making sure that history does not repeat itself. And we have been intentional about shining a light on those of us who are doing the work, because that's what the assignment is. We know that there's enough out here for everybody. Your light shining does not dim mine. Over here, we share the light. So like Arlen Hamilton, who went from sleeping in an airport with just a few dollars and turns around and builds funds for women in the LGBT community. We pray with our feet on the ground. Like Stephanie Brown James from the Collective Pack, who pooled resources to direct our efforts in funding Black candidates in elections, we speak the loudest with our votes. Like Sunny Hostin, 3-time Emmy Award winner, who always includes our point of view. My sister Ingrid Best, who leads Ciroc and De Leon, not just to toast cultural moments, but shows up inside the moment. Like Bazoma St. John, whose presence alone balances the scales in the boardroom, causing them to look at us, to see us. We empower. So we stand in the gap. We hold up the banner, we make the waves, and we ride them. We amplify, we sit and watch. We guard the culture, we demand equality and equity, and at the end of the day, I think we all can agree that if we don't get justice, there won't be any peace. So we're not just for the culture, we create the culture, and we protect what's ours. So I'd like to take a moment to thank the companies that are getting it right, our sponsors. To our family at YouTube, Ciroc, Ellis IoT Company, CoinCloud, Lexus, and Procter & Gamble, you have gone beyond just being a black square to actually support the community of creators who innovate, who preserve our culture. You see us, and we thank you. And to every honoree tonight, your work for equality and equity does not go unnoticed. We see you. If 2020 was about vision, 2021 has been about action. So we thank each person for coming up and being in this room. Help us watch and pray, and continue to keep people's feet to the ground as we move the culture forward. Thank you, and enjoy this afternoon. God bless.
Come on, guys, we can do better than that. Let's give it up one more time for Joy, for all of her hard work. Yes, we appreciate you. All right, folks, we are so excited to announce our first award of the day. I'd like to introduce our first sponsor, Chika Okoro. Chika?
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to introduce my friend, Kudzi Chikumbo. If you hadn't heard his name yet, write it down, because believe me, this will not be the last time that you hear from him. When I think about how I would describe him, the first word that comes to mind is inspiration. There are very few people whose story can match his. Who would have thought that this young boy from the village of Zimbabwe would grow up to be a change maker in tech and entertainment and recognized in this room amongst all of you? From the first moment I met Kudzi at Stanford Business School, he was unwavering and steadfast in his purpose to uplift and amplify Black voices all across the diaspora. And I'm so proud to see that he has turned his purpose into a career as the director of creator community at TikTok, where he is nurturing and growing the next generation of culture creators, the actual culture creators at TikTok. The only thing that's bigger than Kudzi's passion for his purpose is his love for his family and friends. The fact that I can call Kudzi one of my friends is an honor of a lifetime. Kudzi, your mere existence gives young Black children all across the globe permission to dream, believe, and achieve. You truly are our ancestors' wildest dreams come true. Kudzi, I'm so proud of you. I love you. Please come up and accept this award.
Hello, everybody. Wow. Thank you, Chika. Thank you to the Culture Creators team for welcoming me into your family. This is an incredible honor. I'm in awe of all the people here. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Felicia. I can't see you, but she's truly the best person. And everyone here is truly blazing trails. And I am so grateful to do the work that I get to do. That work, as noted by this honor, is really about the power of technology. And with technology, you get the power of scale. But what's important to me is, what do we decide to put our attention that can scale on? Because you can amplify cool, dope, popular people, but that's not enough. What I really think is important is amplifying authentic living, true creativity, and Black voices. And that's what I've lived to do as someone trying to move culture forward. That is the gift that my work has given me. I was born in Zimbabwe, as Chika said, and I grew up in South Africa. I became an accountant, which is a whole other lifetime ago for me. But at night, I would go on the internet and I would make videos. And I found my community online. And I realized I want other people to find their own communities as well, and that I'll do that work. I also came out when I was 25, and it was really tough in an African context. And I realized I also want people to feel like they can be themselves. And those two things are the things that I work to do: authenticity and allowing people to thrive and shining the light on culture. So when I met Chika, we moved to LA 5 years ago, and I started that work. And when I started at TikTok, I did what I was asked to do, which was help popular people win on the internet. And then I realized this tool of the internet technology is so powerful. How do we not only use it for dope people to do dope things, but also to use it for good? And then I also realized that I wanted to make sure that I can do that for Black people. I was like, where are the Black people on the internet? Where are they? And then I realized they're right here, they're blazing trails, but people see them, but they're not always elevated. And I realized the key was giving them the tools to succeed. You can be viral and have views and popularity, but you need the keys to the game to understand how it works, because sometimes those playbooks are hidden from us, from people who don't want us to win. So I'm gonna give you the playbook and tell you exactly how to do it, in the same way that everyone in this room, as we unlock doors for ourselves and playbooks for ourselves, we give them to other people. So that is my mission, and that is how I continue to want to drive culture, authenticity, being yourself, allowing people to thrive, and once you thrive, being bold enough to get out the way and focus the light on other people. So thank you for this award. I'm so grateful.
Beautiful. I would now like to introduce our next presenter, award-winning media personality and my Spelman sister. We never get tired of saying that. Ty Beauchamp. Welcome to Ty.
Hi, people. This feels so weird and so good at the same time. I must say, you all look beautiful. To all the honorees, congratulations. I'm excited to be here with all of you this afternoon to honor my sister, Zarina Akers. She is a fashion stylist who's worked with some of the biggest names in the industry and is currently the personal stylist and wardrobe curator for Beyonce Knowles Carter, right? Okay. And her influence recently gained her a buzzworthy feature on Vogue.com last year, discussing her plans for Beyonce's ever-evolving style transformation. Zarina's client list has also included Chloe and Halle, Ava DuVernay, and Yara Shahidi. Akers is no stranger to the fashion industry. She started her fashion closet as a fashion closet intern at W Magazine. She worked amongst the talents in the likes of Alex White, Carl Temper, and Camilla Nickerson. These are big fashion names. Today, Zarina is also the founder of BlackOwnedEverything.com, and she continues to curate culture. After freelancing at W and other fashion publications such as WWD and Harper's Bazaar, Zarina was pursuing her bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising and marketing from LIM. She's worked under the tutelage of fashion's most accomplished stylists and editors, and so many others. I am so deeply honored to honor my sister, who I have seen work tirelessly. She's passionate, she's committed, and I am deeply, deeply honored to present the Culture Creators Fashion Award to my friend and my sister, Zarina Akers.
Okay. You know, it's such an honor to be a part of this group tonight of honorees. Coming up as a young woman, I grew up without my mother. And being able to, so representation was important for me. You look to TV, I look to my teachers and other women in my family and in my group. So to be able to be that representation to other young women now is such an honor, and it's one that I don't take lightly. They say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success, right? We just kind of put our head down and get to it, whether we try to get to the money, get to making things happen, keeping things going, keeping our head above water. And, you know, it's just kind of nice to, you know, to take a beat. And we don't, so I often don't realize, you know, in these spaces, I'm up here, I'm like so uncomfortable, you know, because I'm like, this isn't, I just got to keep going. I gotta finish my work tonight, you know. So I just want to thank you. I want to thank my people for being always the first to recognize me. Even, you know, Essence Magazine was the first magazine to give me my first styling cover. So I realized that in life, our people, you know, we've always seen each other first. So I feel seen tonight, and I'm very appreciative as, you know, I've moved through life. I'm just kind of going, right? I started Black Owned Everything so innocently, you know? I just like, you know, okay, come on, let's talk about us. I don't want to talk about what Gucci not doing for us, you know, what Chanel not doing for us. Let's talk about what we're doing. You know, so I started it, but in the process of trying to launch the marketplace and keep the page going, I learned so much, you know, and I realized there was so much I didn't know, you know. So I've recently started the Acres and Acres Foundation in hopes to help young people get a head start, you know, because I had to kind of take a step back and learn a lot, you know, whether it's like e-com, business, money management, all these things. You know, I felt like a baby in a way, you know? And so I'm hoping to take, you know, and utilize my platform when I am featured in Vogue or contributing to a project that I can, when the light shines on me, I can reflect it, you know, to these other young kids coming up. Because we need it. And watching these young businesses and these business owners, they're at such a disadvantage, you know, through lack of education and lack of, my nail broke tonight, so don't mind my stuff. But through lack of education, you know, and just lack of resources and knowing what to do, you know, the customer services is a little off, you know, like this, you know, so I ask that, at least the people in this room, just to be patient with a lot of these creators, you know, and the quality, because they're learning and trying to get there. There was one more point I wanted to make, and I'm gonna do it because I had my notes and I didn't send my little speech in. They probably mad at me. But I just wanted to say that, and just to say I'm gonna speak to my styling stuff, and just to say I'm just so thankful that I get to contribute to the platforms that I do. I get to create work that essentially will outlive us all, you know, and contribute to the culture in a meaningful way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give me that thing, give me that thing.
Next, we would like to present our Icon Award. Please watch the video. Here we go.
Today we are joined by the legendary hip-hop producer, musician, art collector, and entrepreneur, Swizz Beatz, Kasim Dean. He's worked with everyone from Beyonce to Jay-Z to Kanye West to a whole lot more.
Where I grew up at around that time, you know, you would go in the back park and the DJ was the celebrity. You know, it wasn't the MC, it wasn't the producer, it was the DJ that just was controlling the crowd, and it was something about being behind those two turntables and controlling the mass that I just fell in love with.
Rough Riders Anthem, Out the Box, that was like the first record, right?
That people really loved as a mass. I did that in my bedroom in Atlanta. It wasn't no studio. I had the keyboard and an MP.
Did you ever worry, can people handle this? Is this gonna offend people? You don't care?
We didn't care.
You didn't care?
We didn't care. You know, a little bit more polished up now, but we was definitely rough around the edges. Everybody came from nothing. We had all this excitement surrounding us by just doing what we love doing. And it was genuine. I always program music with passion, with culture, with hip hop, with love, good times, craft. A lot of people know me as a businessman, but these motherfuckers forget that I'm an artist too. Well, I feel like it's very important for us as the culture to own the culture, or pieces of the culture, and change that whole concept of making it for other people to own, and we don't have a trace of it left around where we can pull from. We collect like we're building a museum, because we want to save the next generation, and the youth can have something to pull from or go back to of their history. If I couldn't do a record that I wanted to do 100%, then that means everything I did before was nothing. You know what I'm saying? I refuse to do that.
Bring it back. Now double your money and make it stack. I'm on to the next one.
That was good. I was about to start dancing. That music was so hype. Please welcome to the stage, Nasir Dean.
How's everybody feeling today? Yes, there's a room full of beautiful people here, and I am honored. My name is Nasir Dean, also known as Note Marcado. I am honored to be here today and introduce our third honoree, Kasim Dean, also known as Swiss Beats. If we can get a round of applause, please. Yes, thank you. So I'm sure you guys know a little bit about my father. Swiss Beats is a Grammy Award-winning music producer, entrepreneur, and visionary of our time, producing for some of the biggest musicians in the world, including Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye West, contributing to more than 350 million records sold across the world. Over the years, Swiss has worked closely with various global brands, from Bacardi to Aston Martin and Reebok, to name a few. And most recently, American Express as well. You love American Express. Recently graduate of Harvard Business School OPM program, Swiss began collecting art in his 20s, and in 2014 launched the Dean Collection, which began as his first personal art collection and has since grown into a global discovery zone for art enthusiasts. Swiss later launched No Commission, a live art and music festival where artists retain 100% of their sales. 100% of their sales. In 2019, Swiss and Timbaland launched the global digital series Versus, which has become a powerhouse in the programming and artists' music catalogs. With millions of viewers at each show, the brand continues to push boundaries and give artists a chance where they're supposed to be in our culture, and that's why I feel like we're all here today. While highly accomplished, Swiss remains authentic and humble. According to him, the sky is not the limit, it's just a view. With a true passion for business, no matter the industry, Swiss hopes that his success will continue to inspire others. There is no dispute that Swiss is an icon, and this is a video from my beautiful sister, Nicole.
Hi Dad, congratulations on your Icon Award. You really deserve it and I'm so proud of you. And everything you've been doing for the past year has just been so amazing with your verses, and you've been definitely making everyone's quarantine better with the verses battle. And I love you so much and I really miss you. And yeah, I'm really proud of you.
So here's our third honoree, my father, Swiss Beats. Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
Zone, 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 zone. Thank you. Man, this is always amazing, you know, especially when this is my son. Like, this is crazy. You know, he about 7'10" or something like that. You know, it's serious when you gotta look up to your kids to talk. But more importantly, I appreciate this award. I appreciate everybody for showing up in this room. Look at the family here, my sis, my brothers, everybody's here. This is amazing. I'm off a 17-hour flight from Saudi, so I'm 12 hours ahead, but I'm right on time. You know, today, I never really write speeches. You know, I never really write speeches. I just go off of my experience and always just remaining a student. Because I was telling my son, and I was telling, a lot of people, I'm like, you can be a boss and a student at the same time. A lot of people give away their student registration when they think they're putting on their boss application, right? So you can clap, it's all good. You can clap, And so I feel that remaining a student is one of the best concepts I caught early, because it allowed me to go back to school and sharpen my pencil. It allowed me to listen to others, because although we might have the accolades and we might have the track record, there's always going to be somebody new that's coming with a new idea that can reshape your whole future moving forward from that point. And that person might have not even got off the bench yet, which is why my conversation, I'll speak to a homeless person. It's not based on big I's and little U's. And sometimes in these industries, we get so caught up on ourselves that we miss the big message. We miss that we was once that person that's trying to give us the plug and trying to give us the gem. But it's like, damn, why should I listen to that person? He ain't do nothing yet. That person could save your life. And I just want to continue to inspire and just tell all the creatives to not be scared. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. A lot of people, they're going to always tell you what not to do. And that's your green light to show them what you can do, right? So when you're different, it comes with a lot of things. If you're the same, I want different currency. I don't want the same currency, right? So when you're the same, it's easy for people to fit in. But when people are running away from your ideas, that means you probably got something special. So when people are saying that's not going to work, or you should try this, or you should try that, and if you really feel in your heart that what you're doing you love, stay with that. Because if it was up to people, I would just be a DJ, and I love being a DJ. I would just be a producer, and I love being a producer, but taking the risk has allowed me to have a lot of titles under that hat, which we've seen on this amazing intro. I want to save that and repost that later. I forgot I did all those things. But it's also, what's the most important? The most important thing is your health. The most important thing is family. That's real wealth to me. Money is something to spend. And I'm not saying that because I've done okay. I'm saying that because I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been broke, I've been up many times since y'all seen me on the stage, dealing with tax problems, dealing with all of the things that come with not being educated, getting into this industry, but also cool with saying I allow myself to grow and allow myself to understand where I belong today. But if you can't take care of your kids, you can't take care of your family, you don't have no currency. You understand? So let's not do things that's temporary. When we're thinking of things and we're waking up in the morning, let's do something for the long term. Let's make let's at least one long-term decision a week, write it on a piece of paper. 10 years from now, this is where I want to see my kids. 10 years from now, this is where I want to see myself, because the world that we live in is so fast, it's just a revolving door that you don't even get to walk anymore. You're running from your house to the store. You don't even know what the buildings that's next to yours look like. You don't even know what your neighbors look like. But if you slow it down, you be like, damn, I didn't know that the neighbor was the person that I needed to start this company. Wow, the store over here is actually for sale, and I could start owning my block and start, okay, I could be a part of the culture and not just say it, but own it. That's why my last name goes into art. My last name goes into fashion. My last name goes into music. My last name goes into education, because all of those things are laid out for us. We just have to decide to go and get it, and it starts with a foundation. We might not have had the foundation that we want, but that's just a better excuse to create the foundation that you want from the friends you have around you, from the family members you allow around you. Create your own space, create your own energy, and don't let nobody take your light away from you. Because a lot of people like to put umbrellas over you, and it's not even raining outside. Yeah, But I'm not going to take up all the time, and I appreciate everybody. I love everybody, and I appreciate this award, and I appreciate my son. And shout out to my brother D Nice, man, because people was coming to Versus, and we was going to Club Quarantine. And I dedicate this award to the culture. I dedicate this award also to my brother Timberland as well, you know, my partner in crime. I dedicate it to my kids. I dedicate it to my family members that's here. And I dedicate it to you. Blessings and thanks.
Let's give it up one more time for Swiss. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's give it up one more time for Swiss if we can.
Shit, I forgot. I done gave the speech already.
I know, right? I know, right? First, I got to tell you, I got a chance to meet him behind stage, and as a journalist, we always ask, you know, up front, you know, is there something that you want to stay away from, something that you want to talk about? This man said, hit me with whatever you want to talk about. I'm good. I can handle anything. But first, I just thank you for what you've done for our community. Thank you for how you've, you know, pushed culture forward. Just a couple of questions for many people in the audience who admire you, who have admired you for so long, who pretty much want to walk in your footsteps too. How do you drive culture? How do you create culture? And why is ownership important?
Well, that's about 5 questions in one. How do you create culture? I think that, see, the thing with our people, we already the culture. You understand? I don't think it's creating culture. I think we already culture. I think the biggest thing is understanding culture, meaning understanding your worth, understanding what's your position, understanding what you want to spend your time on, right? Because we waste a lot of time even just scrolling at night for 3 hours and don't even know why. It's just like, take that 3 hours and scroll through a book that can get you to the next level or something.
All right, so how do you drive culture?
How do you drive the culture? I mean, get in the fucking car and go. No, but everybody got a different way of how, you know, they can drive the culture. Once again, you have to know your power. You know, so for me, the way that I like to drive the culture is through education, but not putting people in a classroom, but actually showing people fun ways to like art, like education, you know, and love music and really dig into the talent and less of the hype. Because it's a lot of hype that's being sold within our culture, you know, and we take that candy. We take that candy, but it comes a time where you know that the candy's rotting your teeth, right? So you have to move on and understand, like, okay, you can't have that candy like you used to as a kid, meaning that there's come a time and place where you have to graduate. I think every 3 to 5 years you have to assess your brand and graduate your brand. You cannot have your brand doing the same thing it was doing 10 years ago, or you're gonna probably find yourself in a different position.
And speaking of branding, why is ownership so important? A lot of times, you know, especially in our community, we focus on being the star instead of having ownership. And there's power in ownership.
I mean, ownership is a big word. You know, I promote ownership, but ownership is a lot of responsibilities. A lot. You know, so what? Living life is a lot of responsibilities. And I feel that it's like this question is always weird for me because when I was in school, I literally heard the professor say, make them think that they own something and they'll work harder. And I was like, damn, I know I felt like that.
Wait, say that one more time so we don't miss that one.
Yeah, you can't. The professor said, I was in OPM, Owners, Presidents, Management, right? So that class shows owners of companies and presidents of companies how to manage the company if the company was sold or if it's a family business. I was allowed to be in that class because at that time I was one of the owners of Monster Technology before Beats sold to Apple. So I was able to be in that class. And they was teaching strategies to the owners, and I remember the professor saying, make them feel like they own something and they'll work harder for you. And he gave an example. He said, know that you have $2 in your budget. Now you got $2 in your budget, and you have this person that you know that you want to be the vice president of your company. This is the example that he's giving. I'm saying, okay. You have the vice president that you know that you need for your company come in the company, and you take his power out the gate. And I'm like, how do you do that? And he said, when that person that know they're qualified, know that they're the shit, know that you need them, come in the office, you tell that person, damn, the job is not here anymore. You just took all that person's power away. And I'm sitting there like, wow, the job is not available anymore. And then they said, let him go home, call him back 2 weeks. You know what? Your energy was great. This was good. Come back. We might not have that job, but let's see what something else happens. So the guy comes back the next week. He think that this guy is riding for him. He think that he's his friend. And he says, listen, I don't have the VP job for you anymore, but I have this job over here. But I'm not going to be able to, you know, it's half of what the other job was, but we can work something out. I like you. So this guy is thinking that this other CEO is being genuine to him. The whole thing is a play. So he works for another 2 weeks, and then the guy comes out, and he's in the yard doing what he's doing. And the guy comes and says, man, you know what? I know that what we had was, you know, with $1, I'm gonna give you, he gave him the other $1, right? And he was like, don't let nobody know that, and I'm gonna give you the position, but don't let nobody know that. So now this guy is fueled up, think that this person is loyal to him, think that he cares about him, and the whole time he set him up. You know what I'm saying? See, when I talk this type of stuff, all this thing, they don't want the truth to come.
You have to do well, though. You have to do. Well, speaking of ownership and branding, I love that you just go with the flow, man. Speaking of ownership and branding, Versus. Everybody enjoyed Versus, all right? I got to be honest with you, and I mean, you clearly, you're a creator. You have the brains. I had no clue that it would take off the way that it did. I mean, you even had former First Lady Michelle Obama chiming in. Everybody was on Versus, and I think it sort of helped us all stay sane during that time. Did you think it would, you know, go as far as it did? And what was your whole thinking behind Versus?
I always knew that when the creatives celebrate each other, it will work. You know, when two creatives get together, instead of being in competition and having people putting us against each other, although it's called Versus, it's still a celebration. But I always, like me and Kanye was on stage and doing Versus in 2006, I believe. And so, you know, this is something that people are seeing it happen today, but it started a long time ago. And this is a good, I like that you brought this up, because I could have had Versus and it could have just been Versus. But being that I went back to school, we was able to handle the business side of it and turn it into something that's for real, you know? And that was the blessing, knowing how to deal with the companies, knowing how to change gears, and knowing how to add things that I didn't like, you know, like giving all 43 artists ownership in the company, you know? And that's, you could definitely round of applause for that.
Well, you know, at what point did you realize, okay, this is bigger than business? I mean, look at the reaction that you're getting from people all over the world.
For me, it was always bigger than business. You know, the business just happened to come, and that's when you had to know how to navigate and pivot, because it was a lot of vultures. You know, we turned down hundreds of millions of dollars of money that wasn't in our favor. You know, and we went with the company that allowed us to bring our friends, allowed us to bring our family, and still run the company and have ownership in that company, right? So when people heard that me and Tim sold Versus, they didn't really understand the concept of why I did that and why we did that. You could own 100% of nothing. You see what I'm saying? And I don't like that when it comes to our culture, we can't sell anything. But they could sell everything, but we can't sell anything, or we sold out. Nah, we sold in. We took a company that had a 0 evaluation, put it into a company, you know, put it into a company that's 1.6 evaluation. I didn't have to raise no capital. We maintained 100% of the equity. Now we're owners in Triller. We're going public. All 43 artists going public with us. It's going to be the biggest creative IPO in history. And, you know, this is what it is. So.
This final question, I mean, we ask it all the time. You can still live and have legacy, so it doesn't mean you're dying. But what do you want your legacy to be? One, how do you want to be remembered, and how do you think you will be remembered?
I don't know how I think I'm gonna be remembered, but how I want to be remembered is just like, you know, I want people to always understand that sky's not the limit, it's just the view. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. You know, and I say that because like the only thing that's holding us back is us, right? And so like if we didn't learn anything, learn the freedom to be yourself and go. You know, like versus is something that we just went. We didn't care about the politics. We didn't care about anything. We just went with it, you know, and that's with no commissions. That's with, look, we already started from the bottom, right? So everything else is a plus. Like we get into the business world and now we want to be cautious. We was just outside and they were shooting. What are you talking about? Now you want to be cautious? No, do what you want to do. Be creative. It's positivity, you know. So stay positive to the max and use each thing that you're inspired from to go to the next level.
Okay, and I will ask one question because I'm sure somebody in the audience wants to know the answer to this. During COVID, a lot of people struggled, lost their jobs, may have wanted to give up. Is there one thing that you could tell everybody in this room what you did when you reached that point where you were like, you know what, God, is this for me? Where am I going? Should I keep going? Is there some piece of advice that you could give that one person in here, that creator, that creative who wants to give up but is looking to you right now for the answer?
Well, giving up is never an option. You know, giving up is, our parents didn't give up. Well, my parents didn't give up on me, and I was a handful. You know, but more importantly, don't give up on yourself, because we just starting. And if you learn, this is what my brother DMX said. He said, you know, it's not a mistake if you learn from it. You know, if you, it's a mistake if you keep doing the same thing. But if you learn from something that you felt discomfort in, or you felt displeased of the outcome, you're gonna know what to do next time, right? So that's not a mistake, that's a learning curve, that's an educational, right? And so learn from what you would call your mistakes and turn them into your blessings. And that's like the key is like, okay, take a bad day and then flip it into the best day as much as possible. Because like at the end of the day, we're looking for people to be happy for us. Many people are not happy with themselves. How the hell are they gonna be happy with us? You know, so, yeah.
All right, you just made my stock grow up, brother. I appreciate the conversation. Let's give it up for Swiss if we can one more time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, guys, we can do better than that. Stand on your feet. Let's give it up for Swiss one more time. Show him some love. Thank you, brother.
I would now like to introduce our next presenter, comedian, writer, producer, director, my homie, Royale Watkins.
All right. So Derek D. Nice Jones has been a staple in the music industry, gaining his start in the legendary hip-hop group BDP, ladies and gentlemen. D. Nice, with a multi-decade music career that has taken him from the Apollo to Singapore and seemingly everywhere in between, can proudly say he fucking earned it. Listen, I need y'all to do I'm leading y'all into the applause breaks in my speech, so this shit gonna be real easy, follow me. A proven talent behind the turntables, D. Nice sought a creative outlet in the famed downtown clubs such as Lotus and Table 50, the venues where pioneering DJs like Mark Ronson and Q-Tip were blending old tracks and dance classics with the latest rock soon became his home away from home. It wasn't long before he was making a name for himself with the DJing style that set him apart from all others. Suddenly, the MC from Uptown was the hottest DJ downtown and shortly around the world. From Oscar night galas to the Super Bowl, from Essence Fest to the legendary parties thrown by Diddy, D-Nice spun his way into becoming a global brand and could now be heard in places like Cannes, Dubai, South Africa, Miami. In March 2020, D began hosting Homeschool at Club Quarantine on Instagram Live as a way of, for people to come together and help each other through the COVID-19 global pandemic. His March 21st Saturday night dance party ran for 9 hours. In addition to keeping folks on their home dance floors, D urged people to wash their hands and, more importantly, to take care of one another. It drew over 100,000 viewers, including the likes of Rihanna, Lenny Kravitz, Nile Rodgers, Layla Hathaway, Bernie Sanders slid up in there, Joe Biden, Dwayne Wade, Janet Jackson, Fab Five Freddy, Michelle Obama, Mark Zuckerberg, Donnie Wahlberg, Angela Bassett, Sheila E., among others. I promise you I was there that night. Prince showed up, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, all of the ancestors, Sammy Davis Jr., Kenny Rogers was in that motherfucker. You had to be there. On a warm summer's evening, he was in there, I promise you. The following day, March 22nd, his live stream broke records with over 150,000 simultaneous viewers. D won the 2020 Weber's Artist of the Year and Special Achievement Award in that category. He's also one of the recipients of the Shine a Light Award during the 2020 BET Awards, alongside Timbaland and Swiss Beats. The scroller is making me look like a whole kid that can't read, but that's okay. I didn't finish college, but I paid for my sons to go to HBCUs, so. I got one that just finished at Howard and one that's about to finish at Hampton, so my money, them niggas can read, I'm gonna be okay. On March 22nd, 2021, he was awarded Entertainment of the Year Award at the 52nd NAACP Image Awards. Let's take a look.
I'm KRS-One. This is D-Nice. This is Dr. Ice.
Yeah.
And what we gonna do is introduce our next video.
Yeah.
We a group now.
Our new group is.
We lead that?
No. But our next video that we're gonna release right now, we want you to check out, is Poison. Right?
Dr. KRSD.
Yeah.
Nice.
Umo S1.
My name is Derek, and if I didn't mention, D-Nice is just a description. It describes to get on the mic. I'm the TR-808, check it out, just call me D-Nice. Yeah.
Do you like to DJ all the time?
I love to DJ all the time.
Okay.
It's music. I love playing music for people.
Now I love dancing to your music.
Do you?
Yes.
Cool.
When you stand, singing the crowd.
It's the biggest party in the world right now.
To me so loud.
Nothing's bigger.
Girl, do I do?
Oh my gosh. Michelle Obama's in here. Michelle Obama's in here. Michelle Obama's in here.
The winner of the NAACP Entertainer of the Year, presented by Ford, is... You do it.
No, you do it.
All right.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
All right, here it is.
D-Nice! Let's go, let's go! Yes, Bronx.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, open the phone lines up for one of your favorite rappers, producers, photographers, activists, entertainers, the one and only, the magnificent D-Nice, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, it's such an honor for me to give my brother this award. I'm not even going to hold it up any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Culture Creators Innovators Award winner, Derek D. Nice Jones. Y'all give him a round of applause.
Wow, this is beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do not have a speech prepared. I feel like I've done enough talking during Club Quarantine After Dark on red wine. So I'm just gonna, I'll just share a story. I'll share a story that's extremely important to me. You know, I read an article earlier during the pandemic that said, wow, D-Nice is an overnight sensation. And, and I was like, man, I've been in this business for 35 years. That's the longest night ever. And but what I learned, man, you know, 35 years in this business has been incredibly special. There's some incredible people in here tonight that actually helped me with Club Quarantine without even realizing what they were doing. You know, the story for me is I travel a lot, you know, like I was DJing all over the world for everyone, you know, like 2019, I did over 300,000 flight miles. You know, every day I was in a different city. I mean, right before the quarantine, I opened for Jill Scott at Radio City. Then my man Chaka Zulu, I jumped on a flight, literally like right after performing, I was on like a 6 a.m. flight to Trinidad, DJ'd for him, 6 o'clock flight back to LA, you know, had to connect to New York because I wanted to do what I love. I wanted to play music for people. That's what I truly enjoyed. And when we were all forced to quarantine and stay at home, I realized that as artists, we don't take enough time to take care of ourselves. You know, when I was stuck at home, I was at home alone, you know, no one there. I had no food at home because I wasn't there. I was constantly traveling. You know, I had no toilet paper. I literally had to steal toilet paper from one of my favorite restaurants. And no, I'm dead serious. Avra in Beverly Hills, I walked in there and I was like, you know what? This bill is like $300. They're not gonna miss these rolls. But a beautiful thing happened. You know, I was sitting at home and actually I was having a cigar with my buddy who's in here, Jimmy Jackson, and we were trying to figure out what we were gonna do for the next, 3 weeks that they said we would be quarantined. And I remember this feature on IG. I told Jimmy, I was like, I don't know, bro, I'm just gonna go live and try to interview some friends and talk to some of my buddies, and no one wanted to go live with me because it wasn't like a popular thing. And I just went on and I started playing music and sharing stories. You know, I would play a song, share a story, a memory of that song, and I watched 200 people stay in there. And then the next day I did it. You know, the first day was about me, but the next day it was about this chat room and this conversation that people were having. And it felt real. It felt like this community. So when you look at the video of me being extremely excited about Michelle Obama being there, I'll tell you a little secret. She was in here because I called. And this goes back to 35 years of being in the industry, of being kind to people, you know, like being kind, man. You know, there was no mistake why a lot of those people were there, from Joe Biden to, Bernie Sanders, and the Michelle Obama thing is funny to me because when I called her assistant, I was like, yo, I have this party, but it's on your phone. Like, remember, no one was doing this, so I'm like, it's a party on the phone, and I don't want you to think I'm crazy, but this shit feels real. And she said, you know what, I've been in there all week, and I knew that I was like, all right, cool, if you can convince her to come in, and she did. And the same thing about Bernie Sanders, but what's funny about Bernie, not even Bernie, about Joe Biden, was I called someone that works with him, and she's a funny sister. I will not say her name, but I will say exactly what she told me. I called her, and I was like, I got this party on the phone. I feel like Joe Biden should be in there. And she said, she's a sister, she was like, hell yeah, he better get in there. He needs black people. He better get in there. So it was just beautiful to know that something that started with 200 people ended up becoming something that kept the world inspired during a very dark time, man. And it was truly a dark time. So I want to shout out some of my friends. Shout out to Yvonne McNair. Shout out to Culture Creators and Joy. Like, these are really my friends. Shout out to Royale Watkins. Royale is one of my best friends, man. And that dude, that night when everything was going crazy, Royale was up. When I played for like 9 hours, I didn't even remember telling Royale where I lived. And Royale was at my door with like bottles of water and was like, yo, make sure you drink. You know, shout out to Will Smith. Will Smith in the middle of the night had Just Water bring cases and cases and cases of water to my home with this handwritten note from him that said, D, please stay hydrated while you rock the world. And my whole point of sharing that, it wasn't about me, man. It was really about a community of people that came together, and we supported each other during this dark time. And I am not here without people that are listening to the music, and I'm also not here without the creators, without Jimmy Jam. Jimmy Jam is my brother right here. Yo, Jimmy Jam has been in club quarantine every night, every morning, afternoons. But Jimmy is my guy, man, and the fact that we've all been able to share love with music for over a year and a half while we were dealing with this pandemic is beautiful. So I want to say one more thing. Black music and black people save the fucking world.
Y'all, a DJ really saved our lives, right? Like, for real. I brought my daughter backstage to meet Dee, and she wouldn't let go of him for like 5 minutes, just a good cuddle. I know, because we tore the kitchen up in those concerts. So thank you again. Please give it up one more time to Dee Nice. We are pleased to have P&G be the presenting partner for the next award. P&G has established the Widen the Screen. It's a program that aims to diversify the portrayal of Black people in advertising and entertainment. Let's take a look, guys.
I'm Damon Jones, Chief Communications Officer at Procter & Gamble. I'm thrilled to share with you how we're stepping up for Black creators, and importantly, how for everyone, we're widening the screen to widen our view. We all know the images we see and the stories we tell in advertising, film, media, and music, they matter. The portrayals of all people, but for particularly people of color, embed memories in our minds that form biases that play out in real life. That bias can be positive, but it can be negative, especially when it's shaped by stereotypes. As one of the world's largest advertisers, we have a responsibility to accurately portray all people in all advertising and ensure the content we support does the same. Accurate portrayal and relevant and resonant stories, however, can only be told if the storytellers represent the diversity of people who have the deep understanding and lived experiences throughout the creative ecosystem. There are gaps everywhere, but the biggest gaps in representation are in directors and production crews behind the camera. In fact, fewer than 6% of all directors, writers, and production crews are people of color, with Black creators significantly underrepresented. That's why we've launched Widen the Screen, an expansive platform for content, talent, and partnerships that enables increased representation and inclusion of Black creators across advertising, film, and media. The program is designed to provide access and opportunity to break into an industry that is notoriously difficult to enter. The program is founded on a call to action to widen our screen so that we can widen our view by portraying a full view of the joy, beauty, and vastness of Black life, not simply reinforcing commonly held stereotypes of struggle and trauma or excellence, which is an important but not the only view of the Black experience. So with our partners, we're making several interventions, but our work is far from over because there's so much more to do to create equality and inclusion throughout the creative ecosystem. We'll keep going, and we invite others in the industry to join alongside. Because when we widen the screen to widen our view, we widen the opportunities for more talented Black creators like you.
happens next. Ask yourself why. These are the Black stories we've been shown. A narrow view that limits our understanding. But there's so much more to see. Picture of Black life. Let's widen the screen so we can widen our view.
Ricky Hughes is a multi-Grammy and Emmy award-winning producer and showrunner of comedy specials, award shows, television series, and independent features. She is currently the executive producer at Magic Lemonade Productions. Yum. In 2018, Hughes was nominated for 2 NAACP Image Awards for Best Variety Special and won 3 Grammys for Best Comedy Album, Dave Chappelle, The Age of Spin, and Deep in the Heart of Texas, Equanimity, The Bird Revelation, and Sticks and Stones. She has also won an Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special, Dave Chappelle, Equanimity. After leaving the music business, Hughes began her television career producing award shows such as the BET 25th Anniversary Special and the BET Comedy Awards. She segued into producing stand-up series and comedy specials such as the TV One series, Who Got Jokes?, starring Bill Bellamy, and the breakout Cat Williams special, It's Pimpin' Pimpin', starting in 2006. And for the next decade, Hughes served as the co-executive producer of TV One's nightly series, Based In After Dark, and became the go-to producer for the BET fashion and music specials, Rip the Runway and BET Honors. So she's been a little busy. Since 2016, Hughes executive produced Dear Mama, a Mother's Day special for VH1, the ABFF Awards, a celebration of Hollywood for BET, All Def Comedy for HBO, the independent feature Digital Lives Matter, and was the showrunner and executive producer of Hood Adjacent for Comedy Central. Wow. I'm very pleased to welcome Ricky Hughes. I'm just happy you found time to be with us today. You're so busy. How are you? Welcome. Congratulations. Absolutely.
Hey, guys. Hey. So I've been in this room many times, but I've never been in this position. So I just want to start off by saying thank you, thank you. Everybody that knows me knows that gratitude is everything for me. So I will start this and end this conversation with gratitude. So I want to start off and say thank you, Joy. Like, just amazing. I mean, she didn't have to, you know? She didn't have to. So I'm really thankful for the choices. I didn't make any speech. I took a couple notes so I don't forget people and get in trouble when I get off the stage. You know, it's different when you're honored by your peers. And, you know, when we do these shows, when we start to create, we don't create for awards, we don't create for recognition. We create because we have an idea, we're getting it out there, we're moving as fast as we can and moving on to the next one. So once we get to this place where someone says, I see you, I hear you, you stop and you go, oh, thank you, Thank you. And it didn't happen alone. Like, I have a team. I can't do this alone. I have a staff that's amazing. I never say they're people that work for me, they work with me. Everybody on my set, from my co-EPs to my PAs, all of them are important, or else they wouldn't be there and on the payroll. So I need them all. Ingrid, thank you. Thank you for always believing, always pushing me to the forefront. I appreciate you, I admire you. Where's Felicia? Felicia, wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for always being a cheerleader. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for all these wonderful people that have had their hand in the small of my back, that have kept me moving even when I didn't want to, even when I thought I was getting tired. And they're like, no, you're not. Get out there, keep moving, let's go. I mean, one of the biggest hands in the small of my back, Stan Lathan. I mean, Stan never comes to events, so I'm so happy that he shows up. He's shown up for me in this room many times, and he is my champion, my mentor, one of my closest friends, my family. I wouldn't have the Grammys, the Emmys, or anything without him. When Dave decided to come back and really have some things to say, Stan sat down and he said, Ricky, look, I got something really special I'm about to work on, and I need you to do it with me. We don't have a deal. We didn't have a deal. It was just something that we knew was going to be special, and there was never a question or a doubt in my mind. I said, let's do it, and he has never steered me wrong. Dave has never steered me wrong. I can't thank him enough for everything that he's done as well. I have the people in my life that just love me through it all, when I'm right and when I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm strong and wrong, and they just keep on loving me through it. So thank you, Dana Mason, my best friend. Thank you, Fuzzy West, for being right there at my side. I appreciate you. And I'm not going to stay up here long. I just wanted to, for me, it's all about, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for being here. And for me, being here is just another footstep that somebody else behind me can step. There's another little black girl who says, I can do this. I can do all of this, and then more. I want you to do better than me. Please do better. I'm going to keep trying to push that ceiling up harder and harder, higher and higher. Joy, thank you for creating these moments like this and making a visual representation. I had a moment not too long ago where I saw this young kid. He was like, "It's for the culture, and it's the culture," and he had all these conversations. And I was like, he wasn't really saying a whole lot, And one of the OGs in the game said, "What is the culture, man? What is it?" And asked him to define it. He couldn't say. He was stumped. He didn't know what he was saying. And I get it. New generation changes every 11 years. But I thank Joy for putting this visual representation of the culture in front of us constantly. And, so, these moments are important, I want to make sure that I get everybody on here. Kali and Krista, they're not here, but they're part of my Magic Lemonade team, and when I tell you they rock for me in such a special way. They step out in front of me that is in a way that's really wonderful and professional, and sometimes I'm a little rough around the edges. They're super sweet and kind and all these things that sometimes I forget to be. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will leave you guys with a question that I constantly ask myself and I constantly ask my loved ones. What's next? Thank you.
Oh, but there's more. There's one more person that would like to celebrate you, Ricky. Take a look.
I don't know how many specials we've done now together, but it's been a lot. And every time we do them, I get to see a little bit more, all the things you do on those projects. It is my honor to be able to say that the recipient for the Culture Creator Award this year goes to Ricky Hughes, one of my favorite co-collaborators.
I would now like to introduce our next presenter, music executive, Michael Blue Williams.
Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Hate having to do this after Royale, but thank you. Shanti Das is an accomplished entertainment industry veteran. She's a speaker, an author, a philanthropist. Shanti worked in the entertainment business for over 25 years. Her music industry career from intern to executive vice president. As a result of Shanti's extensive community work in the 2000 decade, she decided to establish her own nonprofit, the Hip Hop Professional Foundation, Inc. The foundation was rebranded under the name Silence the Shame, Inc., the mental health movement that led the way since 2016. Silence the Shame, Inc. has received global awareness and has become a commonly used hashtag to normalize the conversation in America. Shanti's foundation curates community conversations, offers wellness training, creates content, and broadens awareness as education around mental health and wellness. In 2019, Silence the Shame was awarded one of 5 awards by the American Psychiatric Association Foundation for advancing minority mental health. Culture Creators is happy to present the Health and Wellness Award to Shanti Das. Hold it, wait, sorry. I told you I was gonna try and do this and stay on script. Shanti Das is the reason there is Southern hip hop. Shanti Das is a trailblazer. A lot of women put a lot of themselves into this industry to make hip hop what it is. They don't always get the credit. Other people get the credit. I'm here to tell you, as the manager of Outkast, Youngbloods, numerous artists, that without Shanti Das, there is no Southern hip hop. Without Shanti Das being in the room, fighting L.A. Reid, fighting Clive Davis, fighting for hip hop on an R&B label, fighting to get us the money and the chances and the opportunities, fighting for hip hop in the South to have a voice up in New York and in other places. Her on the road driving Sprinter vans, well, not even Sprinter vans, we had like those real weird vans, like MP Vibes and stuff like that back in the days, but Shanti was out there with us. And as long as I'm in this industry, I refuse to not make sure that she always gets her flowers for what she did to make sure that the South had something to say. So I'm introducing my friend, someone that I've known for over 25 years, a survivor of this industry, a survivor in life, and someone that deserves every honor that she gets. Shanti Das.
Thank you all so much. I know I got 3 minutes. I'm going to try to get quick, but I know I'm going to get emotional. And thank you, Blue, for those kind words. And thank you for acknowledging my work in hip-hop. But I finally had that aha moment of what my life's work was supposed to be and what it's meant to be. So first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this honor. Next, I want to thank my late sister, Anjali Maria Arnold, who passed away 2 years ago, and her beautiful daughter, Chloe, my niece, is here today. She was my biggest supporter and advocate. Next, I'd like to thank Joy Brown for her constant support of me in Silence the Shame, and my mentee, Felicia Fant, who I love dearly, who has been a huge supporter of me over the years. This has not been an easy journey. As most of you know, I had a wonderful career in music, from being a college intern at Capitol Records to executive vice president at Universal Motown. Even with all of the success and opportunities, the cloud of my father's suicide, I was 7 months old, always quietly lingered in my mind. So when the times got tough for me, I really didn't have healthy ways to cope. I kept most of this inside and bottled up. A lot of you didn't know what I was experiencing. I ended up walking away from my career, and I was working for Sylvia Rohn. I know she was here earlier. Shout out to Sylvia. And it was one of the toughest decisions I had to ever make in my life. I was severely depressed, but not diagnosed. My mother ended up being diagnosed with dementia, which is now Alzheimer's, and she's in the late stages of Alzheimer's, so we're not sure how long she has left. And then in 2014, my best friend took her own life, the exact same way that my father did, a gunshot wound to the head. That was the straw that broke the camel's back and led me down a downward spiral that was hard to come out of. In 2015, I seriously considered taking my own life. And to be here today, that I'm alive and in front of my peers in the industry that got me to where I was, means more than you guys will ever know. So once I got the help that I needed, I knew at that moment it was my legacy and journey, it was my duty rather, to leave a legacy of healing and love in the world. That's how Silence the Shame was started. I don't want anyone else, especially in communities of color, and especially my peers in this room, to ever want to think that help is not available. We have to continue silencing our shame. And now the foundation is doing so many amazing things around the world, and I hold my head high. I used to be scared to come into these rooms in the last 5 or 6 years, because you know how it is, networking and what you've been doing, what you got on, what you're wearing. I didn't want to tell people I was depressed. I was suicidal. But once I got the help that I needed and began spreading the knowledge of all the resources and education that are out there in our community, I knew I was doing the right thing. I also want to thank my good friend John Platt and the entire Sony Music Publishing staff in the back, Tuwalami and everybody there that has been a huge supporter of making Silence the Shame a part of their social justice fund this year. And we created what's called the Soundtrack of Mental Health, programs to train musicians, artists, and other people around the world in music through health and wellness. And our goal is to train, we said 10,000, but I want to train 100,000 people all around the world. So my prayer is that we can raise money in the next year or two, and that no one will feel like help is not available. No one will feel like they are not enough. This is my legacy, so that, again, nobody else takes their life. Nobody else doesn't know how to cope when they're having a bad day. And if we didn't learn anything else in the pandemic, we learned that we all have mental health. We may not all have a mental illness. So thank you again, culture creators, for seeing me, for seeing our work. And thank you again to my beautiful niece, Chloe, because now grief is this whole new journey that I'm going through, which can lead to depression and anxiety without my sister being here. But it's my family, it's my good friends like Wendy and Maynard, and Free Warren, my mentee, and just so many others in this room, and Swiss Beats and D Nice, who saved our lives during the pandemic. Just thank you again, and thank you, God, for allowing me to be here today. Thank you.
Well, let's show Shanti some love if we can. Shanti is also an author, too. I don't know if she talked about it, but she has a book out, so talk to her afterwards and show her some love and support her. All right, we are pleased to have YouTube as our presenting partner this afternoon. YouTube is committed to Black culture, Black creators, and I would like to introduce Tuma Basa and bring Tuma to the stage. Director of Black Music Culture, okay, got a fan club in here. Black Music Culture at YouTube. Tuma, please come to the stage.
Hey, thank you. Hey. I was nervous, but now I'm happy to be up here. So last year was exhausting. Like there were all kinds. We all know what happened. We were there. All kinds of invisible obstacles. And as Black people, we're used to overcoming adversity, and we did it. We're here. But now it's not even halftime, and we have to put our marathon shoes on. And at YouTube, we learned a lot about generating opportunities through our Black Voices Fund and programs like Future Insiders, Project Level. People are here. Wait, so before I forget, because I was about to forget, the applications have opened up for the Black Voices Fund. The deadline is July 9th. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. It's not even on, I'm just telling you now. Apply. Wait, but you guys don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from Jimmy Jam? All right, yeah. So I guess, yeah, so, wait, hold on, yeah, I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, thank you, the honorees, and I'm pleased to introduce the legendary, wait, no, everyone stand up before he gets up here. Yeah, well, yeah, that's respect. The legendary Jimmy Jam.
Wow. I don't know whether I like a standing ovation because it was asked for, but that's okay. I'm old, I'll take it, whatever. Hey, first of all, I just want to say before I start reading this beautiful things on the prompter that it's an honor to be here tonight or this afternoon, but I haven't seen this many black people together since a funeral, so this is a good thing. I'm telling you, this is good that we're all together. Now I'm here to talk about MBK Entertainment. Now they're a multimedia, oh yeah, you can give it up, MBK Entertainment, you can give it up. They're a multimedia company established in 1996 that has adopted the Motown motto of investing time and energy into artist development and creating a family-style environment that fosters creativity. Janine McLean is part of the powerhouse management team for MBK Entertainment for almost 20 years. Janine has garnered a reputation for being a hard-nosed businesswoman, but with a nurturing spirit. Taking an artist from obscurity to fame is no small task, and Janine is an integral part of the team that has created lightning in a bottle more than a few times. Now, the other guy, Jeff Robinson, he's the founder and CEO of MBK Entertainment. His commitment to unabashed honesty underpins the success of some of the most influential artists of the last 3 decades. Under his watch, company alumni like Alicia Keys transformed from a quiet teen in the Bronx into an icon. Meanwhile, his current roster spans Grammy Award-winning Her, multi-platinum singer and songwriter Tiara Thomas, and many more buzzing stars. Simultaneously, he continues to produce projects for film and television with credits such as the award-winning festival favorite, Pariah. Forbes has profiled him while Crane's New York business named him among its 40 under 40. Out of hundreds of nominations, artists under his advisement have received dozens of the top honors at the Grammy Awards, the American Music Awards, the Billboard Awards, the NAACP Awards, the MTV VMAs, and the BET Awards, just to name a few. Now, together they have worked with top-selling artists like Elle Varner, I speak worse than I read, Elle Varner, Tyrese, Alicia Keys, and of course, Her. We are pleased to present MBK Entertainment, Jeff Robinson, and Janine McLean with the Culture Creators Award, presented by YouTube. But hold on just a second, because I know you're ready to applaud. But before I bring them out, I just want to say really quickly that when Terry and I started our careers, our very first newspaper article that we did back in our hometown paper, the first question we got asked was, how's it feel to be the hottest producers? And we said, we don't really want to be the hottest producers, we just want to be warm for a long time. And that philosophy to me is the same philosophy when you talk about Alicia Keys to Her, and you talk about plus 30 years in the industry. That to me is the beauty. And in order to achieve something like that, you have to have an artist that allows you to do that, to take the long-term view, as Swizz Beatz said earlier tonight. I think that when you talk about Alicia Keys, you're talking about a timeless artist that in any generation, she would have been at the top. I think, thank you. So you can't stop there though. Not if you're Jeff and Janine, you don't stop there. What you do is you find that next artist that fits that bill, that under any circumstances in any generation, she would be at the top, whether it's as a musician, a songwriter, a producer, a singer, but even better, as a person. She is at the top of the charts in humanity. It's my pleasure, and we're sharing a #1 song this week. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you, to say a few words from the heart, not from the teleprompter. This is Her.
Hey everyone. Wow, I didn't know we was doing heels today. I came in my ones. Yeah, I just want to thank culture creators for recognizing Black excellence. You know, we need to celebrate each other more. But I just want to say a few words, you know, for MBK. I've been working with Jeff and Janine since I was 11 years old, and I'll be 24 tomorrow, so. You know, one thing I will say about MBK Entertainment is they operate like a family, which I think is the way it's supposed to be. You know, they saw something in me at 11 years old that I probably didn't even see in myself. I knew I wanted to do music, I knew I wanted to be an artist, and that, you know, I was a little gifted at that, but, you know, meeting Jeff and Janine, they always encouraged me to do more, to push myself, and they believe in artist development, which is rare. You know, so when people be like, oh, your career happened so fast, I'm like, I've been working with them for over 13 years of my life. So, you know, it's been a long time coming, and I'm so grateful to have them because, you know, one thing about Janine is she is a boss woman, and Jeff, he allows his company to be run by women, which is very, very rare. You know, Misha and Janine are examples that I've had in my life since I was a young girl of what it means to be a boss. Two completely different women just running the whole show. And, you know, I'm so thankful. But Janine, one thing I will say about it, Janine is, we all know her to get the bag. She know how to get the bag. And, you know, it's not about the money. I say that to say, you know, you can sit there and knock on the door and wait for somebody to open it and give you an opportunity, but she kicks down the door. And not only kicks down the door, she creates her own doors. We build our own doors, and we create our own opportunities, and they've always taught me what's for you is for you. Be patient, stay on your grind, do what you do. You don't have to compromise yourself, and I'm so grateful for that. And Jeff, I can go on about Jeff all day, every day, but you know, Jeff, he walks the walk. I walk the walk, he talks the talk. You know, since the beginning, he always told me, you can do anything. And as cliche as that sounds, it really stuck with me because there'll be opportunities coming like, oh, can her do this? And he's like, yep, she can. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I can. I'll figure it out. And, you know, it pushed me. He pushes me out of my comfort zone constantly. And I'm so grateful for what MBK has built. I will say, one thing that is often missing in this industry is protection. I feel like I'm so protected as an artist. That is a very rare thing because we operate as a family, and our health and our mental health, it comes first above all things. You know, when I was 16, before I released my project, he said, what else do you like to do besides music? I'm like, I don't know, music. He's like, find those other things, make yourself happy. And if you aren't happy in this, we can end it all tomorrow. I'll put you through college. So I'll never forget when Jeff told me that. And at that moment, I knew we could do anything together. And shout out to Walt, who's also in the audience, who's part of the family, and Conrad. But these people are my family. I call Jeff my New York dad and Janine my New York mom. So let's give it up for MBK Entertainment's Jeff Robinson and Janine McLean.
All right. I promise everybody I'm not going to be up here long. First, because I can't hold my stomach in that long. Second, and my little sister said, I can't believe they're going to let you have a mic. But we're here, and I want to shout out to everybody who put this event on. Joy's done a great job, and to the whole MBK team. And just happy to be here. And we We also have a birthday celebration to go to with her. So everyone say happy birthday to her. I can't believe they grew up so fast, you know? So listen, man, we're about the culture. We've always been about the culture. We'll always be about the culture. You know, her has been on at 23, has been in the biggest stages on planet Earth. There's nothing and no stage that she hasn't been on, and she's carrying the flag of R&B with her. And so it's a win for all of us. Oh, well, we want her to sing this and sing that. Like, no. We're going to keep it R&B. If you want her, it's about the people. And it's not just about us, but to open the doors for every other little boy and girl who have dreams of being an R&B singer, but told that you have to rap or you have to sing pop to get on. I'm saying nah. So I think it's also important that we remember to have mentors and to mentor young people and develop them and give them knowledge and feed their brains with knowledge so that they would know truth from lies. I say this all the time: study the lie and they'll make new lies up. Study the truth and you'll know when the lie comes. Amen? So we should all learn the truth, not by fancy words and wokeness, but for the sincerity that's in our hearts. You know, so I want to thank you all for this award. And as they said, black women run my company, and they're kicking me under the table to get off the mic. So here she goes.
All right, well, first of all, I want to thank culture creators, Joy Brown. I've known her for decades, so thank you so much for creating a platform for us all to come together and celebrate each other. Much appreciated. And I would definitely like to say that along the lines of what many have said this evening and what her has said and Jam and Jeff, is that we are truly a family at MBK Entertainment. Like, we are definitely from our heart thankful for all of those that support us, and we put our heart into making sure that there are others that are coming up behind us that can have opportunities. I mean, we all know that this is an industry of who you know, do you know their faces, do you know their name, who's rocking with them. So I want to take this opportunity to present some people that are with us, that are what we consider our MBK next generation. This is a time for you guys to all see their faces, hopefully learn them, meet them, do business with them, because they do represent us. So I'll quickly do it. Gotta do it. This is Shanice Nixon, beautiful young lady. She's new to the team, but she's coming as an assistant. She's blazing, she's kicking in doors, definitely gonna be a woman to be reckoned with. This is Jason Hobdy. He started with us as an intern when he was 16 years old. He's now a full-blown manager with artists that are signed to both Epic Records and to Rock Nation, full-blown, straight through MBK Entertainment. We have MBK, what do we call you? Graduate, Noelle Dehan. She's actually a senior director, senior director at iHeartMedia, but she started with us really her first industry career was with MBK Entertainment. Then we have Misha Mays, who is really the third partner of MBK Entertainment. She's our backbone, she's our lifeline. We are all like three silos that work perfectly well together that have created a dream team. So Misha Mays, she deserves all the love and accolades in the world. Then we have Jordan Chapman, who's actually my son. So he's truly, he's right now, he's one of the A&Rs, one of our newest A&Rs here at MBK Entertainment. So he is definitely coming up in the ranks. He's doing his thing. He's doing a great job. He's actually brought a new signee that he's found, he discovered. So he's working hard. You know, he graduated school, but he's like, Mom, I want to do music. I'm like, great. So, but anyway, so here he is. You know, definitely want to support him, make sure that he gets to do his thing. And then, you know, that's it. This is our team. And obviously, Walter Jones, he's honorary MBK. We have a few others, but, you know, like, seriously, again, like, we have to make sure that we support each other. I mean, we do support everyone. We're not, you know, against any race, creed, or ethnicity, but we do feel that we have to support our own from the inside. If we don't, who else is going to do it? Can't look at others if we're not going to do it for ourselves. So, again, thank you very much for the platform. Thank you so much for the award. Okay. Oh, and Comrade. How could it be Comrade Robinson? He's, I mean, quite honestly, I mean, true story, he's the one that actually saw Alicia Keys first at a program, youth program, and then brought her to Jeff Robinson many decades ago. So, and Conrad is still here, you know, rocking as the voice teacher for her. So, again, we're about family and just keeping it all together. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you are enjoying yourselves. We're just about done, but we do have some entertainment for you, so we do want you to stick around and continue to enjoy yourselves. Next up, please welcome Global Chief Marketing Officer for CloudCoin, Armando Redman, who is most certainly making a name for himself around the world. Let's give it up for, I call him Mondo.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here and to go after Jimmy Jam, half of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, my favorite producers of all time. It's an absolute honor and pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here at the 5th Annual Cultural Awards. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, everyone, for having me and to be amongst Black excellence. I am here really to talk about who is CoinCloud. Again, I am Armando Redman, Global Chief Marketing Officer of CoinCloud. CoinCloud is the largest and fastest growing digital currency operator in the world. And our goal is to empower people of color, Black and brown people for financial wealth. I have spent the past 6 years being CMO of 2 of America's largest banks and credit unions. So being an African American in the C-suite of these financial companies and seeing firsthand how we recruit and talk about people of color for wealth has been very interesting. So when I look at this opportunity with CoinCloud and how we can literally change the way in which Black and brown people gain wealth is a magnificent opportunity. We were founded in 2014, first kiosk on the Las Vegas Strip, and we grew from 2 to 2,000. So I'm honored to be the person behind the scenes that is making sure that CoinCloud is not just another brand in the financial world, but also a brand that stands for what we believe in and bringing people of color, my people, our people, to the forefront of gaining wealth. We are presenters of this financial award, and I am honored that we are giving it to George Wells, who is the founder and CEO of the Wells Group. So please help us in introducing him and also giving us the ability to showcase how us brothers and people of color are really making a stance. So please welcome Jennifer House, who will have the ability of introducing George.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here, see all these beautiful Black faces, get away from my screaming toddlers for the first time in I don't know how long, and to introduce my dear friend, George Wells. George and I met as students at Spelman and Morehouse, and in the years since, I've watched in awe as my dear friend has grown into a financier, a husband, avid art collector who has used his platform to elevate Black, queer artists and benefactor. George has not only achieved the dreams he set out for himself when we met, but surpassed them. And the thing about George is, once he surpasses a dream, he just creates a new one and surpasses that. He's annoying like that. When we met, George's career goal was to not just be an investment banker, but to be at the top of the investment banking food chain in mergers and acquisitions. And so it came as no shock when he joined the Mergers and Acquisitions group at Morgan Stanley, which was the most competitive, most sought-after group at the company. After Morgan Stanley, George went on to Goldman Sachs, where he did private equity investing, and then on to Stanford Business School. After business school, George decided to take on a new challenge and start his own consulting company, which was a huge risk. And consulting firm that focused on startups, high growth. venture capital-backed companies. George has built his company from the ground up and now works as a CFO and strategist for leading startups like Quip, Zola, Glossier, Maisonette, CityBlock, and Daily Harvest. George has facilitated raising hundreds of millions of dollars for these industry disruptors against all odds as a queer Black man. George's career in finance has been unquestionably impressive, but the thing that I'm most proud of George for is his unwavering and constant support for his beloved Morehouse. Late last year, George made a $1 million pledge of diverse contemporary art to Morehouse College, making his late father, who had a huge impact on George's decision to go to Morehouse, and his entire Spellhouse family extremely proud. I'm so very honored to welcome my dear friend, George Wells. George, congratulations on this amazing honor.
Jenny, thank you so much for the kind words and remarks. And thank you, cultural creators, Joy Brown, Felicia Fan, the Purple Agency, PR, for making me part of such an important event. It's so bizarre to be sharing a stage with, D-Nice, Swiss Beats, Jimmy Jam, artists who have really informed our lives and our experiences. I'm also very honored that we're kind of looking beyond the typical sort of Black role models and including kind of finance nerds like myself. And so thank you for that inclusion. I think it's so interesting to think about what we see as young Black students and children as it relates to what we can be. And I think being part of this is super special to me. You can keep scrolling. Throughout the course of my career, many had told me to take the easier route, something I always refused, wanting to chart my own path. When I left the world of investment banking, many thought that that was a career-limiting move because I should stay in finance, quote unquote. But my father was an entrepreneur, and that was a desire that was further honed while at Stanford Business School getting my MBA. I really was set on helping people that were reimagining industries, solving complex problems, using disruptive technology with Goldman Sachs level finance advice that I had learned while at the firm. There are so few Black faces in most meetings and companies that I've worked with. Had I gone with what I had seen in the past, in the media and in daily life, I would have taken a different road. And there's no way I would have had the same level of success. They always say you can tell a Morehouse man, but you cannot tell him much. Howard Thurman, the class of 1923 from Morehouse, said over the course of over the heads of her students, Morehouse holds a crown that she challenges them to grow tall enough to wear. This is a motto that's replayed over and over in my head, not only in my business, but also in my professional life. I'm so excited to be recognized by such an esteemed group that is doing the necessary work to highlight Black excellence across the board, something the media has shied away from. Thank you, Joy Brown, again, Felicia, Purple Agency, and everyone behind. You're really doing God's work in promoting our stories. Thank you so much.
Okay, congratulations, George. We now have the distinct pleasure to introduce our first performer, Jensen McCrae, as a biracial Black and Jewish woman. Hi. Growing up in predominantly white spaces, McCrae's music explores all aspects of identity, from race and gender to issues of depression and unrequited love. Inspired by the likes of Stevie Wonder, Carole King, Alicia Keys, and James Taylor, McCrae started her musical journey writing in her bedroom, to then playing the local songwriting circuit in Los Angeles. Take it away.
All right, now Attending Grammy Camp as a high schooler, McCrae received a full ride scholarship to USC Thornton School of Music, where she graduated. Okay, got some fans here. I'm just glad you guys are still here and hanging in with us. I appreciate that. With a bachelor's degree in popular music back in 2019. And while finishing her senior year, her unique voice and songwriting caught the attention of her soon-to-be manager, who connected the young artist with Grammy Award-winning producer Rocky, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar.
So they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. The two were in the studio weekly working on her debut body of work, due out in 2021. And in late 2019, she went on to release her first single, White Boy.
Hey.
Yes, recounting her struggles with racial microaggressions.
More recently, McCrae took to Twitter to post a short video clip performing a preemptive cover of a song inspired by Phoebe Bridgers that acquired over 2.5 million views and even caught the attention of Bridgers herself. Due to the wide attention and praise, the short clip was later released as a single titled Immune. She has earned praise from Wonderland, Vulture, Fader, and was named NPR Slingshot's 2021 Artist to Watch and KCRW's favorite new artist of 2020, and is just getting started. Please welcome Jensen McCrae.
Jensen.
Hello. I'm going to plug in my guitar first. That's okay. My name is Jensen McCrae, and this song is called If I Have a Boy. One second. If I have a boy, I don't know when I'm gonna tell him that the world won't know him well. If I have a boy, I don't know when I'm gonna teach him what I'm scared he'll learn himself. If I have a boy, do I tell him what to fear, or will that just make it real? If I have a boy, do I keep him locked in here? Are there things he should not feel? If I bear a child, if I bear a child, if I build a new heart out of clay, and let it roam outside, vulnerable and wild. If I bear a child, how will I keep them safe? If I have a girl, I don't know how I'm gonna tell her that she won't know love for free. If I have a girl, I don't know how I'm gonna teach her about double jeopardy. If I have a girl, do I let her hair get long and keep her like a doll in chain? If I have a girl, do I throw her to the dogs and let her make her own mistakes? If I bear a child, if I bear a child, if I build a new heart out of clay, and let it roam outside, vulnerable and wild. If I bear a child, how will I keep them safe? If I have a kid who's marked with darkest grays, blessed and unprepared for fate, God, what can I give to shield them from this pain? I thought by now we'd have erased. If I bear a child, if I bear a child, if I build a new heart out of clay, and let it roam outside, vulnerable and wild. If I bear a child, how will I keep them safe? If I bear a child, ooh.
Here we go. I'm truly honored to present this next award. During his years in the NBA, Baron Davis was constantly listening, learning, networking, and connecting both on the court and off, which ignited a successful post-NBA business career. Through the process of being his own agent, he fast-forwarded in the role of being a business owner. He decided to use his platform and the knowledge he gained to support others by investing and funding entrepreneurs and startups. But he believes in, hi guys, can y'all sit a little bit because you're in front of the lines back there? I don't know if you know that. Thank you. Entrepreneurs and startups that he believes in, including those created with the purpose to impact, thank you, I love you too, to impact society and encourage change. Davis has also become an outspoken advocate for financial literacy and ed tech and VC leaders from underrepresented communities. Continues to see opportunities and gaps in several industries, and where he can't find companies that fill those gaps, he creates them. He is the founder of several companies, including Sports, Lifestyle, and Culture, Slick, I think that's what they call it, Business Inside the Game, Big, UWish, and LAUNFD, each with the objective of combining creative talent with original publication and production to develop and provide educational and empowering stories that appeal to global audiences of all ages. I'm pleased to present the Culture Creators Business Award to Baron Davis.
Thank you, thank you. That was amazing. Say thank you to everybody. I'm inspired by the room. I'm inspired by the room. There's so many people in this room that have inspired me, continue to inspire me, that have poked holes in our business plan, that have, faked invested and not invested, you know what I mean? Or companies in here that I have invested in their companies. And I think that, just kind of looking at us, I just want to say that we built this shit, you know what I mean, from America to everything else. And we have to do a better job of funding each other, funding ourselves, looking to build our own wealth, our own ecosystem. I have a company called Big, Business Inside the Game. It was formed basically in honor of Notorious B.I.G. And the goal of Big is if you can learn, how to create a lemonade stand, you can also learn how to create a publishing company. You can also learn how to create a film company. So everything we do is about enterprise, is about creating wealth, creating opportunity, and investing in the future. And so my mission is to be available for everybody, and however you need me, I'm available. I appreciate this award. This is probably the best award I've ever gotten because it's a bunch of black people here, and you give me an award for being smart, so thank you, thank you.
I would now like to introduce our next presenter of the afternoon, Jamil Hill. Before she joins us, we have a special message for our next honoree. Let's take a look.
Peace to the planet. I go by the name of Leonard McKelvey. You may know me as Charlemagne the God. I too am a former Culture Creator winner. Thank you to Joy and the whole team. But right now, I just need you to know me as a proud friend of the force of nature known as Carrie Champion. We throw the phrase deserves it all around a lot in our culture, but Carrie is someone who truly deserves it all. I remember when she was telling me she wanted to leave ESPN, and I was asking why. That's ESPN. In her mind, she just felt like it was time to get off the boat so she could walk on water. And oftentimes in life, God will say to you, I had to make you uncomfortable, otherwise you would have never moved. And she trusted her discernment, and she moved. She stepped out on faith, and a lot of folks probably thought, damn, she hopping off that big-ass battleship known as ESPN, she probably gonna sink or swim, but that's not true. I think sometimes we forget there's another option. Some people know how to fly, okay? But you won't know you can fly if you don't even recognize you got wings, and you've got to spread your wings if you want to know how to fly, okay? Take risks, try new things, go places you haven't gone, be willing to not know, be okay with making mistakes, and you will go further than you could have ever dreamed possible, and that's what Carrie is doing right now. You know, she's encouraging other young queens to do the same thing with the Brown Girls Dream Foundation. And for me, that's Carrie's greatest attribute, her ability to pour into other people and see things in people that they don't see in themselves. She's always seen me, even when I was at my worst, when I was at my most broken, when I was not a version of myself that was going to therapy and striving to heal the way I am now. She always told me that I was better than I was presenting, and she challenged me to do the work, be better, and Carrie, I sincerely thank you for that. I am extremely proud of you. You are entering a phase of your life where you are about to experience breakthrough after breakthrough because what you went through didn't break you. I think that's what they call your season. Yes, we are entering your season, and I'm glad that you are having a great season because your Lakers sure didn't. Okay? Okay. Peace. Love you. Congratulations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jamel Hill.
Charlamagne mentioned Carrie's legs, which are very world famous. And so in honor of her, I have my thigh meat showing today because I know that's how Carrie gets down. I don't have nearly as much baby oil as she tends to have on her legs, but I'm moisturized and I'm happy to see all these beautiful black people in this room, that's for sure. Okay, so before I even met Carrie Champion, the recipient of today's award, I was rooting for her. No, seriously, I really was. I was at ESPN, and I kind of heard it through the grapevine that a black woman was being interviewed to be host of one of the most high-profile shows at ESPN. I had seen some of the other candidates that had come through ESPN for this particular job, and they all had the same thing in common. Real white, real blonde. And they weren't even giving brunettes some run. That's how bad it was. But this black woman that I did not know got the job, and as soon as she arrived, I sent her an email asking if she'd like to link up outside of work. And here's the part I should mention as I proceed to tell this story. The job that she interviewed and got was the same job I was also being considered for. Now, people wanted us, of course, to be natural enemies. Y'all know how that goes, but I was not having any of that. And this applies to so many other occupations. So many other women can relate to this for sure, is that companies and organizations and industries often pit women against each other. And before this woman even knew who I was, I knew the gossip around the industry and in the building was that I felt some kind of way about her getting this job. Now that was far from the case. I was ecstatic that she got this job as host of First Take because what it would mean for black women in our industry, for the young black girls who are watching and one day they want to be on TV, they could look at her. And let me just add quickly, rooting for another black woman ain't never cost me a dime, nothing. It ain't never cost me a check. It ain't never cost me a job. And so I hope that we all carry that in our spirit. So anyway, as I mentioned, I sent that email expecting to hear from this woman who I did not know immediately. A week passed, then another week passed, then a month passed, and I still had not heard from this woman. I'm like, I know this heifer ain't ignoring me. Finally, a month and some change later, she responded, and we set up a dinner date. And as it turns out, she wasn't purposely ignoring me. She just didn't know how to work her work email. So what can I say? Now, that was in 2012, and I have been cheering for her ever since. She's one of the most dynamic women I've ever met, enormously talented, powerful, and she's got a heart that is as big as this room, even though she tried to act all gangster. She's not. She's a softie, trust me. I'm proud to call her my friend, but most importantly, I am prouder to call her my sister. I am honored to present this Culture Creator Sports Award to none other than Carrie Champion. And Carrie, before y'all applaud, let me get this line out from Brown Sugar. Carrie, may you continue to be a dope verse over a tight beat. Hold on. Cheers. And this is you.
I love
love you guys. I love us. And I think it's beautiful how we are all here today and we are all celebrating one another. Jamel received this award about 3 years ago, and I was here for her award, so I think it's beautiful. I first want to thank her. I want to thank Joy, because I was so surprised that Charlemagne gave me a video, and I love him. That's my dog, and I know that a lot of people have different opinions, but I ride with him till the wheels fall off, because he took care of me in so many ways and has always had my back, and I love him dearly. I just want to point out that Jamel's story is true, that when she tried to be my friend, I did not want to be her friend, because I have always been taught there can only be one. And I think that a lot of us understand that in this industry. When you're one of a few black people in the room or in corporate America, you think the other black person, more specifically black woman, is a threat. And that is not true. When I tell you we are dear friends, and I would tell you that she rides with me till the day I die, I encourage you all to befriend a black woman that you work with, because she will take care of you till there is no tomorrow. And with that being said, I gotta send some love. This room is filled with people that I love from day one. My best friend Kendra Carter is here from college. My dearest friend BT is here from college. Tommy Crump is here. I love her. Jamel is here. The list goes on. So many people that I know and love. If I forgot you, forgive me. But my point is that we all met in this room for a reason. And the reality is that as I sit here and talk to you about a speech, I wanted to tell you that as a journalist, I wanted to have a beginning, middle, and end, but I don't. I'm gonna tell you a story that happened on March, like the date, I don't know. We'll say March 2018. But Jamel Hill got a call, and it said, you know, we're hearing that your friend, me, the reason why she's been so successful is because she has slept her way to the top. Is right. And she said to the journalists who worked at a very reputable outlet, if you care anything about your reputation, you won't print that story, because that is completely false. Period, point blank. She called me and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "What's going on? What you doing, girl? Hey, hey, hey." And she shared that story with me, and I was very angry. And angry is the first emotion, but if I was honest with you, I was really sad. I had worked so hard. I had been in, quote unquote, this industry at this particular outlet for over a decade, and everything I worked for, I fought for. And no one gave me any handouts. And more importantly, how tired is that fucking story? How old is that content? For everybody who's sitting here right now, you're supposed to be here to hear this. Can you get some original content? Do we all have to sleep our way to the top? Can't we do something else? I know I'm cute, but damn. And I had heard it casually, but I didn't really understand how serious it became in regards to my reputation until my agent called me just a few hours after Jamel called me. So I'm gonna cut this story short. It had turned out that the agency that I was working for was spreading the lie. The people that I worked with and I respected started the lie. And at that moment, I said, I realize they will never approve of me, respect me, or give me what I deserve, and I gotta make a plan. If you are lying about me boldly, knowing that you have a reputation and you are considered important in this industry, and you are lying about a little brown girl, why should I be here? You will never respect me or accept me. Your ice isn't as colder as our ice is. So I don't need you. I don't need your respect. I don't need you to approve of me. And that day was 2018. I remember it. And I said, I got to make a plan. I have to start doing things with a purpose for us, for me. I have to tell our stories boldly and unapologetically, because if I do it their way, I never get the respect. I never get the honor. I never get the money. I never get what I deserve trying to wait for them to recognize me as the journalist I am. Because for whatever reasons, and we all know, I intimidate them in the way I move and the way I act. I've been listening to this song, and it came out, it's interesting, because we're telling a story from 2018. This song came out in 2018. It's a gospel song from Brian Courtney Wilson. It's called A Great Work. And it essentially says, he who has started a great work in you is faithful to perform. He's faithful to perform. And when things get tough, understand the great work has been started. Stay focused, stay faithful. And the work started in me, the great work started in me when I was 7 years old, when I knew that I wanted to tell stories about our people because I didn't like the way we looked on TV and how people talked about us on TV and how people made us feel on TV. And so at the end of the day, I realized at that moment when I knew there was a plan to try to ruin my reputation, the only thing that I had to move for me. I had to create a story for me. The disrespect was no longer tolerated, and life has changed ever since. I work for myself. Jamel and I have our own show. It's called We Won't Stick to Sports. We talk about white people comfortably and truthfully. I won't accept the disrespect, and neither do you. Neither should you. You don't have to. Believe in yourself, bet on yourself. Trust me, it will pay off. I have never been more happy and never been more free, and I wouldn't be here today to tell you the story of who we are and why we succeed and why we deserve every single thing. Let them tell their story, but we create our own. I am so grateful for this award. I know that there's a few of y'all and y'all ready to go, but let's just say, celebrate Black women! Cheers. Thank you all. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce Quentin James of Collective PAC. Stephanie Brown, Quentin James? Yeah, come on up.
Thank you so much. What's up, culture creators? This is interesting because this next awardee is my best friend and my wife. And so I actually wrote something down so I don't start crying up here. Because it's special, right? Stephanie Brown James is the co-founder of The Collective and is a boss in every sense of the word. As a married working mother, I'm privileged to watch every day how she shows up as the singular most humble, dedicated, and brilliant advocate fighting for Black people each and every day. Thank you. In 2007, when 6 boys in Gina, Louisiana needed justice, Stephanie showed up with the NAACP. As the former NAACP National Field Director, a title that Medgar Evers held, Stephanie was on the ground helping ensure those young men's lives were not derailed due to the racism in our criminal justice system. In 2012, when President Barack Obama needed a leader to motivate Black voters to support his re-election campaign, he called Stephanie. As the African American vote director for the 2012 Barack Obama re-election campaign, Stephanie and her team saw for the highest Black voter turnout in American history. And in 2016, after we were watching protests around the country, I went to my wife, who was being an awesome mom to our newborn, and said, I have an amazing idea. We should quit our jobs and start the Collective PAC. And she said, let's do it. At that time, 90% of people in public office in this country were white. 95% of prosecutors in this country who decide whether or not to lock our asses up are also white. And so Stephanie said, let's go out and build Black political power. And just 5 years later, after raising $25 million, having helped over 150 Black candidates get elected to office, after last year registering over 200,000 new Black voters, giving 100,000 free rides to voters with Lyft and Uber, I am proud, I am honored, along with our sons, Carter and Elijah, to present to you all Stephanie Brown James with the Culture Creators Award for Social Justice.
Hey, everybody. Real talk, I was half listening to what he said because I was going to cry. I was like, no, this makeup is fresh. It is really an honor to be here. I was so surprised to get the email that I was going to be an honoree. I had heard about this event, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I was begging for a ticket to come in the room, wasn't able to attend because we have babies. And I want to just say thank you to Joy Brown for your vision, for loving Black people the way you do. She is my Howard University sister, my Delta Sigma Theta sorority sister. She's my Pro Phi Alpha chapter. And I have to say thank you to Ingrid Best, who continues to pour out. She pours out good stuff, but she also pours out love and support and excellence. So thank you, Ingrid, Sirac. So, in this moment, I know that this is being taped, so it's not just about this moment. This is going to air on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for the sponsorship. Everything about Black culture is not excellent. It's not. The fact that we have to ask people to respect those in the room who are paying attention, that's not excellent. But what I realize is this room is a microcosm of the world. There are people who will pay attention to what is before them. They will take on the challenges of what is before them. And there are others who will be focused on their own personal satisfaction as opposed to the collective upliftment of Black people. And so what I want to say is thank you to those who believe in the power of Black people and who believe in the power of staying focused. Because if there's ever a moment in time for us to be focused as Black people, it is today. We talk about Juneteenth, we talk about Tulsa. These are not things of the past. We cannot be mad at white people that kill us, but don't give respect to Black people who are trying to uplift us. We also cannot allow us to be so commodified as a people that we are willing to do anything to make white people comfortable with dumbing down our images and not uplifting those that are actually going to progress us forward as Black people. So today I want to say thank you to culture creators, to all of you who create in whatever aspect of your life that you create. Because we love the entertainment, we love the music, we need it for our souls, we need it to live. If anything we've seen this year, we need all of this to live. But we also need, what that man say he was, a finance nerd? Did y'all hear he gave $1 million to Morehouse in artwork? We need all of us to bring our best collective selves to this work because people do not want us to win. Folks, we got a lot of work to do. So thank you for staying focused. Thank you for being dedicated to uplifting Black culture and all of its beauty and boldness. I encourage you to please go to collectivepact.org, learn a little bit about the work that we do, but most importantly, the candidates that are working to progress our culture forward so that our future is one where we are respected and we are reflected in any and every room we go into. Thank you.
Let's give it up for her one more time. Stephanie, thank you for all you do. And I am pleased to introduce Ingrid Best, EVP, Global Head of Marketing Spirits at Combs Enterprises. Ingrid, please come forward.
Happy Saturday, y'all. I know you guys are ready for the Sriracha and DeLeon cocktails, so I'm gonna make this quick. Again, my name is Ingrid Best. I'm the EVP of Combs Spirits. On behalf of Sean Love Combs, the Sriracha and DeLeon team, which is right here to the right, those bad ladies that y'all see over there, thank you for inviting us to be a part of this amazing event. We're really happy to be here. Sriracha has worked with culture creators on several initiatives, including this year's Empowered Women platform. We pride ourselves on being a brand that makes space for Black voices, creatives, and excellence. That's why it is paramount that we support this year. It was paramount that we supported this year's Innovators and Leaders Awards brunch. It's truly an honor to be in this room today. We are standing among the best of the best, celebrating us and breaking bread like only we know how. With that, I would like to say that I'm gonna raise a glass when this is over, in the back, right? To my good friend and Culture Creators founder, Joy Brown. Congratulations and bravo for continuing to make space for us. I also want to make a kind of virtual toast to today's honorees. You continue to inspire us all and set the bar for future generations to come. We need you, and we see you, and you are powerful. Thank you. Cheers.
Please welcome back to the stage Tuma Basa and Adriel Beeman.
YouTube partnered with Culture Creators to find the next innovative insider, and you all voted, so let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Corley. Ever since I was little, I knew that I wanted to be a star. Today, I act, I dance, I model, and I'm a content creator and social media influencer. I create content because it allows me to express my true self and what I love.
Yeah, because she's been.
I get to inspire, teach, and help others that aspire and have the same goals as me. That's why it's important to me to be a leader and help guide the next generation in discovering their passions.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Corley. I'm 21 from San Francisco, California, and I'm a dancer, actress, model, and I create content, and I'm a social media influencer. A little bit about me, I have been doing a lot of this since I was 6, and professionally for real, at least 14, 15, 16 years old. I started out at a program called Project Level, and from there, my life on social media and in dance and live performances kind of really took off. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. You know, the video that I put in the feature for the Culture Insiders was like a little baby me posing for the camera, and you know, she'd be looking at me right now and be like, you're doing exactly what I wanted to do when I was like 3, 4, 5, or 6. And just looking at all the little Jasmines and little people around the world and making sure they're proud of me too. I want to give a special thank you to YouTube and Culture Creators because this opportunity was dope, and I'm happy to be here.
So on behalf of Culture Creators and YouTube, congratulations to our winner, Jasmine Corley.
Thank you, Ingrid. So this has been another amazing year. We would like to again congratulate all of our honorees. Yes. Swiss Beats, D-Nice, Kutsi Chikumbu, Shanti Dawes, Zarina Akers, George Wells, Stephanie Brown James, Carrie Champion, Ricky Hughes, Baron Davis, JaVale McGee, Jeff Robinson, and Janine McLean. Really iconic year, you guys. And a big congratulations to Joy Brown, founder of Culture Creators, and for celebrating 5 years of the Innovators and Leaders Awards.
All right, we would like to introduce our final performer of the day. So we definitely want you to make it up for young baby Tate, hails from Atlanta, the ATL show there. I used to work in Atlanta, flaunting a rainbow-worthy variety of vibrant talents as an entertainer, coined namely a singer-songwriter, a rapper, producer, dancer, actress, and self-acclaimed dope-ass chick. That's in the prompt right there. I love that. All right, please welcome young baby Tate.
Yeah. Who that is, bitch? I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. I am gonna go get that bag, and I am not gonna take your shit. I am protected, well respected. I'm a queen, I'm a dream. I do what I wanna do, and I'm who I wanna be, cause I am me. Bitch, that's why BT, yo man got his eye on me, but IDC, cause I'm fly as bees. That's I hit streets, bitch, I drive no keys. That skirt, 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 don't lie on me. Body right, don't need no word, word, word. Hey, I don't need no one, I'm independent on my own. I get that money and I can spend it cause it's long. Everything on me, no, it's not ringing, bitch, I own. I know you see it, ain't gotta tell me cause I know. Hey, I see some healthy and wealthy people up in this room. I am protected, I'm a queen. I do what I wanna do, and I'm who I wanna be, cause I am me, I am me. One-on-one can't compete, I like green. Money stack high like trees, I can see. You wanna be just like me, I can be. But you better not think shit sweet, yeah. I got your bitch, man, yeah. I get them big bags, yeah. Count it and flip, yeah, yeah. Look how the whip match. Convertible top, do cartwheels. Booty so soft, it's all real. Cause I mean real good like Garfield. I ain't son, you dust, got long bills. I don't need no one, I'm independent on my own. I get that money and I can spend it cause it's long. Everything on me, no, it's not rented, bitch, I own. I know you see it, ain't gotta tell me cause I know I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. I am gonna go get that bag, and I am not gonna take your shit. I am protected, well respected, I'm a queen, I'm a dream. I do what I wanna do, and I'm who I wanna be, cause I am me, yeah. Go look in that mirror. Tell yourself everything that you wanna hear. Tell yourself that you that bitch and make that clear. Never stressing, never lacking, got no fear. Don't have no fear, wow. Thank you so much, Culture Creators, for having me. It's been an honor. DJ Sky Jetta, I'm Young Baby Tate. Have a great relationship.